Hey, what's up guys? This is a demo video for one of my very first installs. This I think is a 89 Sabers Graflex. I started out actually installing the Parks 2.0 kits and some 2.5 or whatever they were. It was the same on the outside, but they had different cores. Before I ever had a Facebook or YouTube channel, I would do these guys. I would install them, and then I'd put them up on my Etsy store and sell them that way. And that's how I started out, right? I saw one of these come up for sale on the marketplace the other day, and I went ahead and I purchased it right away because I just wanted to have it. It brought back a lot of memories. It's been through the ringer. You can see this grip section here is broke. It's a little chewed up over here. I'm not sure what it went through, but it looked like it's been through hell. But it is installed the CFX. It has the old school Osh Park 7-pin PCB in here. This was before This was before I was using the lit PCBs. I'm trying to shine a light in here so maybe you could see it. So yeah, those old Osh Park 7-pin connectors that look like that, right? I wasn't using lit PCBs. I think I had just barely started using 28 millimeter bass speakers, but this one looks like, what's the name of that speaker? Let's open it up. First we want to flip up that clamp. This isn't glued in, so we'll take this off and then we'll just unscrew the handle doesn't unscrew. It is on a J-lock system, so we'll just pop that off like that. This is like a 28 millimeter Vico speaker or something, because it's got this old rubber ring on it that I never even took off, right? It came on the speaker and I didn't want to, back then I'd leave those on there. I didn't know if I was breaking it or not. So like it had 1, 2 of those O-rings on it. This Saber still works. It's just pretty crazy. This is my chassis. Right when I first got a 3D printer and I was doing my own 3D prints, I didn't have anybody to bounce up any ideas off of. I didn't know anybody in the Saber community. Like I said, I wasn't on Facebook at all. I was kind of emulating some of the things that I had bought on Etsy as far as chassis go, and the chassis that I was buying had these huge trays in here for soundboards, and they didn't necessarily go to a specific board. It looked like they were just universal chassis that you could use for anything. So that's what I was doing. Made it to where I guess you could see every wire, right? Let's go ahead and pop that off too. You could see every wire coming to the board. This is silicone wire, so this has been a very long time. This was before my YouTube channel. I don't remember if I said that or not already, but yeah, man, I didn't know how to put words on a curved surface. So what I was doing is I was going through here on my model and I was flattening this piece of my model so that I could type words on it. And I thought, oh man, I figured out how to put words on my chassis. It's so cool. And you can't get any bigger than that, right? There's no mistaking where this came from. I don't know if you could tell in here, but my battery compartment also is square. It's square because I didn't know how to make a curved fitted battery compartment. So that's square in there. I did put a plus and minus sign in here. So there's a minus sign, there's a plus sign over here. Thankfully I did that because this was, I've had memes made of me saying this. I've said this a million times, spring side is your negative. This was before the spring side birth. Because I'm using 2 leaf springs. So you could see there's a leaf spring over there for my negative side, and then there's also a leaf spring over here for my positive side. So yeah, this was just the complete Wild West. And man, it just brings back a lot of memories. I've done a lot of Sabers. I don't know how many off the top of my head. I have a count somewhere, but I've done a lot. And I have a lot of videos on my YouTube channel of every Saber that I've installed. I've done a demo for since I've had a YouTube channel. This board is just, as I'm sitting here talking, I can see this board's just kind of floating in here. So it's just held in by the wires, right? I mean, that's Wild Town. But yeah, and this was before all of that. So this is pretty old, and I am proud of the fact that it still fires up and it still works, you know, but there is that aspect of it. I will be redoing this install. I'm just keeping it around for a little while so I can play around with it and just kind of look at it. But let's throw a battery in, right? Let's throw a battery in super carefully because we don't know what side is what.
You don't just have power, you have his power.
The person I bought this from sent this with a ton of sound fonts on it. So I'll take the sound fonts off. I'll put the stock font package on, but I haven't done anything to the SD card yet. I've just been playing around with it myself. All right, so we got the battery in there. Come over here, we can throw our handle on. It goes on. It's a tight fit, but on these types, it's supposed to be that way. I thought this was an 89 Sabers, but the 89 Sabers Graflexes, they have a twist-on handle, or so I thought, or so I can remember. I may be wrong on that. It's been a while since I've done one. So I'm a little confused on what this is. Also, this pommel is a solid pommel, but it has sound venting that is drilled through. Like whoever put this on, they drilled the sound venting on. I could just tell when I looked inside of the handle. So I'm not sure where that came from. But yeah, this is a 2-button setup. So the power is right here. Auxiliary is this slide tab. And we just hold it to turn it off. And we'll throw a blade in here. It's pretty funny to me too, because somebody had used an example of mine, of my wiring. And I think, I mean, if it wasn't this Saber, it was one that I did exactly like it, because I was pretty consistent back then. But somebody used an example picture of this not too long ago, maybe a month ago, to say like how my wiring sucks. Well, this Saber's like 3.5 years old. So yes, it did suck back then. Let's throw a blade in here. It takes a 1-inch blade. Throw a blade in here. It's a tight fit, but it goes. To back this out a little bit. I'll actually have to use my other 1-inch blade that's been sanded a little bit, and that's kind of what tells me it's a 89 also, because they're kind of notorious for needing sanded blades. See if we can hit those pins and it fires up. So we got a blade in here. The blade retention is right here. It's this flathead screw right here, but I don't need it because the blade's so tight. But it still fires up. Got our blade lockup. Go to another sound font. Well, we're not going to go to another sound font because I don't know how this is set up. It's not set up like any other of the CFXs that I've done. So some of the configurations were obviously changed around. So I'll have to get in there and see what's going on. So for now, we just got, this one. Still got spectrum and color mode. Find a nice blue. Some nice shine through in the eye. Shouldn't be too hard to hit that flash on flash because the board's just floating in the chassis, right? And we'll turn it off. Take the blade out. So yeah, it still fires up. It's a super blast from the past, but it is nice to see this. And, because I've been at this for a little while, not nearly as long as a lot of other people. I've probably been doing this now for about 3.5 years or so. Full time for around 2.5 or so. All right. But it's just nice to be able to see some old work up close and see how we change, because, it's not just me, it's anyone. If you do something long enough and over a period of time and you do it enough times, you start, you have a natural evolution of things. And so, I like to think that my stuff looks a lot different today than this does. I mean, as far as printing though, like, it's decent print. It's a decent print. But yeah, just wanted to show that off real quick. I've had this on my desk for a few days. I think I got it in on Wednesday when I bought this guy, or it actually came in the mail on Wednesday or Thursday. And yeah, so that is a Graflex mystery, whatever it is, 89 2.0. I don't know what it is. It's not a 2.0 because it's got that spring activated tab. I'm not exactly sure what kind of Graflex this is, but this is an old school Etsy Solo Sabers Graflex that still fires up. All right. Thanks for watching.